Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Strongest Root. Today we're going to talk about a few things, how I built these flower beds. Had a couple of questions from the last two videos about the layering of the flower beds and how I did it. It's a German technique. I'll put it on the screen, how to pronounce it. I'm terrible at pronouncing words. I believe it's Hugelkultur, but I probably got that wrong. Anyway, so what I've done is, they're layered with wood, cardboard, collected all my neighbor's leaves, put them in here, and then I started layering garden soil on top of that. And garden soil, it's not cheap, but it's not inexpensive either. It's missing a lot of nutrients. So this is the time of year I'm getting ready to plant tomatoes and peppers. Around this corner here is going to be pepper corner. One of the things you can see too on the video is you can see the drip irrigation. That cannot tell you how important that is. It really makes everything sustainable. Some of my relatives that have watched the video said, hey, he travels a lot, how do they maintain the garden? That's a big part of it. I set the timers up. I've got them on Wi-Fi timers. They're connected to the weather channel. So it weathers, if it's raining while I'm gone, it won't come on in water and that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to dig back a little bit, show you some of the layers. And then I'm going to put more on. As you can see from here, it's probably dropped about 2 inches since the last time I layered on some garden soil. So I want to get that in there. I also had my family save ash from their fireplaces. So we're going to amend the soil with ash from local wood. And then we're also going to put in, if you're from here in the North Texas area, maybe around the region, black cow, which is some cow manure. We're going to put that on top. And then I'm going to dig that in and we're going to water it in real well. It's the second weekend of February here, so we've got a pretty good cold snap. So I'm not going to plant anything today, but I am going to recap and show you what we planted last week with the peas and the green beans and how everything else is coming along. So hope you enjoy the video and get something out of it. All right, so now I started digging down in. You can see I've got a pretty good layer here. Had to pull away quite a bit of material. Didn't realize I had it this deep in this area, but that's great, no problem. So as I go a little bit deeper though, we can get down in here, you'll see, look at those leaves. This is great. They're starting to break down, so we're gonna have some nice organic material in here. I'm big on the worm farms. I've talked about those. We can get into those a little bit. But this is perfect. This stuff has really been breaking down good. It's good and moist down here. You can feel down in here and see down in here that it's really starting to break down well. So really happy with that. But also underneath here is limbs, logs, branches I collected from my neighbors, trimming trees, that sort of thing. And then underneath that is shredded cardboard. Again, all of this adds air and nutrients, natural nutrients to the material. It is a very nice organic way to do things. So anyway, so we'll cover this back up and we'll get another layer of soil on this and go ahead and start amending the soil and put some ash and some cow manure in there. So anyway. Okay, so as you can see behind me, I went ahead and put the new soil in on top. It's got up where I need it. It's probably the last time I put soil into the gardens this year. I fully anticipate them to sink down some more. It's just the way it's going to be after all that organic material breaks down. But what I am going to do is add ash. Like I said, I had my family save this for me, and I'm going to just nicely layer it here in the garden, and then I'm going to put black cow on top of that. We're going to turn that in. So go ahead and do that, and not going to do just a ton of it, but just enough to kind of cover. And the reason I'm putting it on top is I want to water it in, mix it in, so that it's kind of close to the top when I put the new plants in, and they get the full benefits of all that extra minerals and everything from the wood. So that's kind of how it's going to go, and now we're going to add the black cow. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the black cow. I'm just going to go even, not too heavy with it. You don't want to burn the roots when you put them in there, have too much nitrogen. This is very balanced. It's a 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So it just adds, again, some of that extra nutrients to it. It's locally sourced, so it's it's just nice material to put into your garden, and always amend your soils. Once a year you should always do that right before planting season. We may add some more when we do the spring or the fall planting after the major summer heat, just to give the soil a little bit more nutrients. And I do add a little bit more fertilizer when I put the plants in the ground, especially new plants. I'll put blood meal around it. It's high in nitrogen. So on the 3 mark, I believe it's about a 4 or 5. And that helps with getting the leaves to perk up and to get the roots to set and just give it a nice spurt. So same thing here. Just going to take it. I'm going to sprinkle a nice even amount. Nothing too crazy. Go ahead and move that. All right. All right, it's looking good. A little bit more over here. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to now come in here and just turn it in nicely. And then it'll be nice once we get it watered in. Just make sure it's nice and mixed. Just go along, especially right in the planting area. Out here on the edges where the plants aren't going to be, don't concentrate too much there. It's kind of a waste if you do. So anyway, so we'll get this in and then we'll get it watered in. So kind of nice and mixed in. All right. Okay, so that's basically it. It's very simple. Grab the water hose and we'll water it in real quick. Okay, so I grabbed the water hose. I'm just going to put it on a shower mode and get this nice and soaked in. Like I said, I do have the drip irrigation in here, but it is good to come in, water it in. That black cow, that ash will settle into the soil. Get it a good soaking. New soil like this, it doesn't want to penetrate, so put it in, come back, hit it again. You can see that ash is starting to disappear, that black cow is soaking in. It's going to be perfect when we start planting. Like I said, in here is going to be peppers around this corner. Really thought about the garden this year and having purpose of where everything goes based on the sun, and laying out things, growing things that we eat on all the time or use all the time. Those are all very important. So, okay, so this looks good, and that's it. That's what we've got settled. So we'll let this settle in, and then we'll come back and put our plants in. Probably another couple of days. It's going to get down to 29 degrees tonight here, so we're just going to have to be careful not to get delicate plants in right now. We could probably cover them if we wanted to, but it's okay to wait another day or so. I've got them in the greenhouse. Maybe give you a quick peek of what those look like here in just a second. Okay, from last week we planted the snow peas. That's what they're looking like now. They like the cold weather, so no big deal. Kind of watered them a couple of times this week. I had a little chicken wire there so we could help them climb, find their way. So anyway, so let's go over here to the beans. See, my super duper garlic is doing great. My onions are actually growing like crazy. Doing really well. I guess before we get over there to those really nice green beans, see if I can zoom down on this for you. I am getting all kinds of carrot growth. I put these all in the ground, and they are doing so well. There you go. There's a good look at them. All right, and then we'll get over here to the green beans, and you can see they're coming along nicely too. They're going to start growing up that lattice, and it's going to be fantastic. So one of the other good cold weather crops is lettuce. So I've got some just regular Bib lettuce going on there. And then over here we have some kale. A lot of my friends know I'm not a big fan of kale, but I'm trying. So anyway, my wife loves it. And as we come this way, I tried growing some directly in ground. Right now inside I've probably got about a dozen starters. So I will probably take the rest of this bed from the worm farm down to here and just make it a lettuce farm. We eat a lot of salads, and then there's nothing better than having fresh salads right out of the garden. So it's a really good start. Okay, so that's it for today. We got the soil in that we need, and we got everything amended. Showed you what was going on with the plants. They're doing great. Really hoping for a really good season this year. This is my third year. Learned a lot the last 2 years. I think one of the most important things, though, that I've learned over the last 2 years, and what I'm trying to do on this garden, is making sure it's got purpose. Where I put things, what I'm growing is more important than anything. I want to grow stuff that we eat on every week. That's important to us. It makes it rewarding. I love to cook, and there's nothing better than cooking with your stuff that comes out of your garden. I mean, it's just as fresh as it can be. So anyway, we'll get into peppers and tomatoes on the next one. That's going to probably be here in a couple of days. We'll get through this cold snap. We're going to get into the 80s next week. So great opportunity. I know I'm a little early. Some of my friends, Nancy, I know you're going to freak out seeing me put my tomatoes in already. You know what? If we get another cold snap around Easter, I can just cover them. So, but get them going ahead of time. Take advantage of the warm weather, and just start growing. So hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.